So welcome to another tech video. Today we're going to be having a look at a Lenovo ALC. This is the V15 G2. It's a 15.6 inch laptop. Comes in plastic and it's a Ryzen 7 5700U processor with AMD Radeon graphics. So let's start by getting into the box. Inside we've got our typical Lenovo foam padding that sandwiches the top and bottom of the laptop. So we can remove the top one. In the right hand side we've got our power adapter. Now this is, I think this is 65 watts. Yep, so this is 65 watt charger. I'm not a fan of the bricks like that plug straight into the wall. I tend to see them getting broken occasionally. The rest of the packing is plastic, is a plastic bag, I presume just to keep the costs down. And then the material we get, this is a sort of dark grey blue finish with an embossed sort of, I don't know, pattern on the top that seems to pick up marks fairly easily. So when we've finished setting things up like this, we have to give them a good clean on these Lenovos because it does show the fingerprints. Okay, so this is the device itself. This is an ALC G2 V15. This is the Ryzen 7 variant. So we've previously had a look at a Ryzen 5 one of these, but we're going to be having a look at this Ryzen 7 one today. This is a 15-inch laptop, 15.6-inch screen. Comes with an HD webcam. The rest is we'll go through. So let's talk about the device itself and have a look at it. So the first thing is we'll have a look at the connectivity that we've got on this device. So we've got our power input here, then we've got a USB type A, but the input is an A port. This is HDMI. This is our type C connection. And then we've got a headphone jack, or a headset jack, I should say. On the other side, we've got our Kensington lock. We've got another USB 3 port there, and we've got an RJ45 port here as well, which is brilliant to see that you can still get RJ45 connections on your laptops. So, as I mentioned, this is 15 inches. The screen brightness is 250 nits. It's not particularly brilliant screen if I have to, you know, from past experience having looked at the screens, it seems a little bit washed out. But what we're going to do today on this one is we're going to take the back cover off and we're going to have a look at what the upgrade options are. Okay, getting into the unit itself is fairly straightforward, and you want to get yourself a small Phillips screwdriver. And then as you can see on the device itself, you've got these screws around, all the way around the case, and one in the centre there. So we're going to get these removed. Okay, once you've got your screws out, you want to get yourself a prizer tool of some description. There we go, get the prizer tool in there, and we just release the clips, slide along with the tool. You can feel where the clips are, and we just open the prizer tool. Just twisting it gently as we go. hardest part, or the hardest bits around the corners in actual fact. So once you've got those unclipped, it's fairly easy to go along the sides and the back quarters. But it will slowly come up. There we go. Until it's ready to come off. There we go. Okay, and then in the device itself we can see nicely laid out. We've got our battery here, which is 7.68 volts, a typical battery, 4947 milliamp hours, 38 watts. So 5,000 milliamp hours on here. I mean, it's not a huge battery, but it should last a good few hours. Next over here we've got our tray that we can add a 2.5-inch SSD drive if we wanted to. So this bracket comes out, you attach your drive in here. You will need a ribbon cable though, because this one does not come, this laptop doesn't come with a ribbon cable, so you've got to buy the ribbon cable and connector, because the ribbon cable and connector come back here to connect, and you need basically the little ribbon cable and connector that goes into a 2.5-inch drive. That will add it in there. Alternatively, what you could do is obviously change out this. So this is a 500 gig M.2 NVMe drive. Let's have a look at that. Yep, 500 gig. Nice thermal pad on the top of it, which sits on the case onto this copper slat here to try and draw some of the heat away, which is pretty neat. And then also we've got one that sits on top of the memory here, and this long section here sits over the heat sink from the CPU and graphics that are in here. So not too many parts to upgrade. You can upgrade this if you want to. Then underneath here will be the this is the RAM cover. So if we prise that off, under here we should see an empty slot, which we do. So you can add, as it says here, you want to add the right memory. So go to the Lenovo website, scan the QR code that's visible here. There's a QR code there. You can scan that, and that will enable you to purchase the correct memory module for this to take advantage of dual channel memory. Really good to see that they've got actually a scannable barcode, and it will take you straight to the product page. Here we've got our Wi-Fi card. This is dual aerial going out into the screen, and that's pretty much it. So getting the top back on is just exactly as we did in the same order but in reverse. Pop your cover on, and you want to go around and clip. Make sure everything clips in nicely, which it does. There we go, and once you've got the cover clip back in, it's just a matter of popping the screws in. Alright, so let's first do the prep work. So we remove the eSupport sticker from devices before they go out to customers, because we provide the support directly for them, so we don't need them to scan and go to Lenovo's eSupport offering. So we take that off carefully, give that a clean in a minute, and then next, under the just covering up the webcam, is a sticker that you should remove as well. That's a 720p webcam. And then the screen itself, you can see standard 15.6 inch screen. The device is light in weight, so The weight of the unit is 1.7 kilos, and the processor is a Ryzen 7 5700U, 8 gig of RAM. The RAM speed is 3200 DDR4, and as you can see already, just having used it a bit, you do get quite a few fingerprints on it, so expect it to be covered in greasy fingerprints, but as I mentioned, we give it a good clean before it goes to the customer. So let's have a look and turn it on, see if we've got a backlit keyboard. No backlit keyboard on this one. When it's plugged in and charging, you get the orange indicator light. When it's fully charged, I assume that either the light will go out or it'll turn white. And then the screen itself is okay. It's a matte finish, non-reflective coating on there, so it's not the brightest of screens that we've seen, but it's perfect for office use, and that's what I would class it as. It's definitely a business grade machine, being a Windows 11 Pro machine, and that's pretty much it. So what we'll do is I'll now go ahead and get all of this set up, and once I've got everything set up, plug in, we'll have a quick look around the operating system just to see if there's any bloatware on there, but these laptops are actually pretty good. So once we've got the operating system installed, we can go into our settings, and I'm fairly sure if we go into apps and features, we should only find very few what we call bloatware installed. So let's have a look. The nice thing about these Lenovo laptops is they only come with one version of Microsoft Office, so a lot of the manufacturers bundle 5 different languages. You have to go in and uninstall them, but on these Lenovo laptops the only what we call bloatware is the McAfee LiveSafe, so we're going to remove that, and once that's done, we'll just go through and run all the Windows updates. But I wanted to show you how little bloatware you get on this machine. Everything else we'll go open up Lenovo Vantage and we'll install the drivers to see if there's any updates. There will be a BIOS update, so we'll install that as well. And then we are good to deliver this to our client. So the full specs we'll put up on the screen so you can see exactly what you're getting. But yeah, in terms of connectivity, it's not bad. It's got a couple of USB Type A ports, and it's got one USB Type C port. Not sure if that is power delivery as well. Don't think it's power delivery, so I don't think it will drive additional screens, but it's got an HDMI port in here, and you can always use a docking station. So in terms of its use case, ideal for business use. Ryzen 7 processor, so 8 cores, 16 threads. There's plenty of grunt on this. It's power efficient, so yeah. So we'll let this uninstall and then go through and tidy it all up. So we'll have a quick look at the camera. Let's open that up. I'll just say yes to that. Okay, so it looks like it's got auto flicker reduction on here. Let's go in and have a look. 720p, 30 frames a second. Flicker reduction is auto. Great to see that they've got that set to auto, so it will take care of your lighting conditions. With these panel lights, we have to have ours set to 50 Hz, but in other locations you might have to have it set to 60 Hz. With it set to auto, it will auto detect whichever one is most suitable for the mode. So yeah, good quality camera. Nothing wrong with that, so let's close that down. Okay, so what we're doing here is we're just running the system updates through the Lenovo Vantage portal. Once these are installed, and including the BIOS updates, once they're installed, then we'll go in and we'll run the Windows updates. Okay, so that's the BIOS updated, and the Lenovo Vantage updates all completed as well. So let's go in and now run Windows updates, and then we're just going to follow the process. download all. Once all of the updates are installed, then the next stage is for us to give it a good clean. Get rid of all of the fingerprints. But that's a quick look at the Lenovo G2 ALC 15 Ryzen 7 laptop.